All right, so we wake up with a very interesting news of the charges against President Donald J. Trump being dropped. Wow, I think that this is a victory for the American people. So I decided to share this with you. So without any further ado, let's get on to it.
Terrific. Let's throw to Alina here. Alina, welcome to the program. Great to see you. Trump senior advisor. Alina, your reaction to the breaking news yesterday of Jack Smith basically motion to dismiss on all charges.
I want to know who's paying back all the taxpayers for the waste of money. I want to know how we have allowed this on 2 cases that he had to dismiss yesterday. And all of a sudden he wants to say he values the Constitution. Well, that Constitution was the same Constitution, Charlie, that was in place 2 years ago when he started this witch hunt against President Trump. So I want to know how we're going to rectify the damage that has been done by the money, the damage that has been done to President Trump, the legal team, the legal fees, for what? An election interference case. And, you know, I hate to say it, but told you so. You know, we told you so. These were witch hunts after witch hunts, and they're finally being dropped as they should. But it shouldn't have had to come to this.
Yeah, it is. So, but Jack Smith said at the end of his charging documents that immunity from prosecution for a sitting president would not preclude such prosecutions once the president's term is over. Is he threatening that he's going to be back after President Trump's term?
I can assure you he could threaten all he wants. He will not be back. He was inappropriately appointed to start with. We know that. There's a Supreme Court decision on immunity that came out in favor of all presidents, not just President Trump. We know that. These are people that are, look, D.A. Bragg did the same thing. D.A. Bragg did the same thing. He said, oh, I want to push things off for 4 years. These people are relentless and desperate, Charlie. They're relentless and desperate. And if you see the picture circulating of Letitia James right now, it was pretty funny. She's not looking so happy. But, you know, at the end of the day, America is going to correct. It's correcting as we speak. You know that. You feel it. And he'll make sure, Pam Bondi will make sure that these DAs and AGs are shut down if they have any political ammunition, political ambition, and that's getting in the way of what their job is supposed to be.
Are there any other pending legal cases now, Alina? It seems as if New York is basically being sunsetted. The Georgia one I haven't heard much of, but also for the associated parties. Yes, they are dropping the cases against Trump, but are we seeing similar type of dropping of cases against Trump allies as well?
There should be. And we're going to make sure of it, because a lot of times, like Judge Merchan, who went after Alan Weisselberg, the CFO, not once, but twice, this is all something that we have to cure. We have to cure this in the administration. Pam and I have spoken about this. It's so important. We have to cure this lawfare so that it has to all be cured. You cannot go after associates just because they're associates of Donald Trump. You cannot go after CFOs who, you know, didn't put a Mercedes or an apartment on a tax return that could have been rectified with money and put them in jail twice. You can't do things like that. And we've seen it time and time again. And I'm telling you, there's one problem, and that is the lawfare in this country that was created just a few years ago. This is a new phenomenon, and we're going to put in methods and figure out a way to shut it down so that it stops against every American, not just Donald Trump.
So the regime of lawfare has made people not trust our justice system. What more in particular can Attorney General Pam Bondi do once she is confirmed to restore integrity and trust in our legal system?
Well, there has to be an examination, and we have to look at basically, we have to look under the covers. We have to see what was happening. What was the motivation? We have to look at logs. A lot of information that I have and that we've heard over the past few years that I've been, you know, yelling about on the courtroom stairs. We have to now hold people accountable. If there is fear of accountability, people will stop. And that's incredibly important. We can't just talk. We can't just have congressional testimony and subpoenas. We'll start there. But there has to be accountability. And I think America needs it. They need to see that, you know, we always thought something was wrong. Let's find out what actually happened. And then let's hold people that need to be held accountable.
It is a remarkable thing. And I mean, I think we have to start to hold accountable these people that have done this. What is the update also of the seizure of Donald Trump's business empire from Letitia James?
We should be receiving a decision from the appellate division. We argued it fully, briefed it fully. And we're waiting on the First Department of New York to give us a decision. As you know, we are already completely slammed that ridiculous amount of money. It got slashed into almost a third just right off the bat. And now we've argued about, everything from the judge, from the evidence that went in, from the $18 million Mar-a-Lago evaluation. The list goes on and on. We're waiting on the appellate division. We should have a decision on that any day. And hopefully that will be the final straw on that one as well. And we can put this all to rest. But I can't say this enough. That doesn't mean that the American people didn't suffer, that their support and value system in the justice system didn't suffer. And there's healing that needs to happen, because the reason we are America is because we believe that there is a justice system that does not attack you because of your political affiliations or because of your religious affiliations or because of anything like that. And we not only can restore that financially, we have to restore American faith. And I know Pam's going to do a great job of it. President Trump's going to do a great job of it. And I'll definitely help in any way I can.
This has been one of the great tragedies, and they're responsible for so many desecrations of our republic, from going after pro-lifers, the January 6ers, the entire legal assault on Trump's family, church-going Catholics. And isn't it just, it should anger people that you win an election and all the charges go away? Does that mean they never actually believed them in the first place?
Now that means they operate in a system of fear, right? So you're in a system of fear, not real life, not law. So now President Trump's been elected. We can now ask for subpoenas. We can ask for the basis of these things. And all of a sudden they're running away. They're not just dropping the cases, Charlie. They're running away. He is resigning. And let me talk to you about January 6th for a moment, because this one holds dear to my heart. There are individuals who have lost years of their life sitting in solitary confinement for having done nothing. Now, I'm not talking about the violent crimes. I'm not talking about anybody who did damage. I'm talking about people that were just political targets, who had to not see their families grow up, who were away from their parents, who were stressed out that they were going to be put in jail because they did something for Donald Trump. We need to figure out a way to rectify those people's lives. That is also an issue. And those are civilians. Those are not people that ran for president and chose to dive into politics. And there's just so much wrong. I mean, the list is long, but I think that the reason we won on November 5th is because people are intelligent. Americans are tired. They want peace. They want to have a loving country, and they want structure and rule of law. So it's going to be critical. And I know for me, God knows it's a focus that has to be top of mind for this administration.
So let me just ask you, Alina, do you believe that if Trump would not have been successful and Kamala would have won, what would his legal future have looked like?
I think they would have put him in jail. If they could have, they would have. Not because he deserved to go, but because we've seen it happen time and time again. That's what I think. I think they're desperate.
I agree with you, and I hope everybody in the audience internalizes that. Donald Trump would have ended up, I think, in some jail cell for the rest of his life. That was the stakes of this last election.
Right.
Also, on the
right.
E. Jean
and
Carroll
I think
thing,
that's why we came out.
Yeah, please go ahead.
But yeah, E. Jean's another one. It's on appeal. To go to your next question, that's a financial one. Unfortunately, in the list of issues that President Trump's had to deal with, being attempted to be assassinated twice, them trying to put him in jail, them trying to bankrupt his company. That one's probably the least concerning, although it's a tremendous tragedy. That's a lot of money, and thank God he has the means to handle it. But I will tell you, that one was another one. What was that? Governor Hochul created a law. She created a law for 1 year solely to prosecute President Trump. A law that had no statute of limitations was created to prosecute Trump. There's another example of corruption. Governor Hochul's law that she did in tandem with the prosecutor of that case, Robbie Kaplan, who then made money off of the case. That is the definition of corruption. It's got to stop.
Alina Habba, thank you so much. We will see you around, and God bless you for your service to President Trump in this country. Thank you.
God bless you as well, Charlie. Thank you for having me.
Wow, that's a very interesting one. But then if you listen very carefully to Alina, you got to realize that there was actually a political conspiracy against President Donald J. Trump, but thanks to the American people's innocent victory against these evil people. And then that is the reason why, according to Alina, they are not just dropping some of these charges, but then therefore they are actually resigning. And it's not really about just resigning, but they will have to relocate and run away, understand, from America, and that's it. And why do you think they're running away? Because of some of the things, you understand, that you are framing against the president, they are untrue. And then since there are no, you understand, element of truth in it, and then that is why what they are dropping the charges, and that's why what they are running away. Else otherwise they could have ended up, you understand, putting him in jail, just like how you hear from the phone conversation between Alina and then Charlie Kirk. She just, you understand, proved it right that if, you understand, he could have lost that election to Kamala, of course they could have ended up what, putting him in jail for the rest of his life, not just because of maybe probably he committed some of those crimes, but because of what, they just want to prove a point. And then that is why you see what, they are just resigning. But then, you know, that's one thing, that God always have a way, you understand, of presenting or electing, you understand, his own people to take care of the affairs of his own children. That's just it. If not for all this assassination attempt and so many things that they plan against the president, not to talk about, you understand, his business and a lot of things, you understand, they keep doing about his life, his business, some charges, you understand, against him, and all those damages that they were trying to do to the president in order for them to distract him, you understand, from contesting for the presidency. But at the end of the day, here is the victory. They only delay it, but in God's time, everything, you understand, was still made beautiful. And then that is the reason why what, Trump still won, despite all these plans, despite all these evil plans, you understand, against him. But at the end of the day, what, God's people, what, always wins. And then that's why, you understand, it's being said that what, once God, you understand, is with you, who will be against us? Who can go against God and survive? Even in the history, have anyone ever goes against God and survive? Of course, we saw, you understand, Pharaoh tried it, but at the end of the day, what was the end? So when we see, you understand, many people trying to go against God, what do you think, you understand, will happen? And then that is the reason why I see what, they are what, dropping some of these charges. I think that it's time for us to celebrate and just pray for January, for Trump to just take over the office and bring peace again, you understand, to America by securing the border and making everyone, you understand, feel safe in the country. So I know that a lot of you have thought an opinion concerning this, and I want you to drop it at the comment section, and may God bless you as you do so. So this is the end of my video. If you like my reactions, you like, share and subscribe, and if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Goodbye.